This segment of Open Up is brought to you in part by Abeta-Weed, the locally owned company that has everything you need for lush, weed-free gardens and lawns, from the smallest backyards to the property of the biggest businesses, and with top quality equipment and products better than the big chains, and they service what they sell. Located on Rosedale Highway, just east of Callaway, across from the promenade. Be loyal, buy local, abetaweed.com. You bet. Be loyal. Buy local. Keep that money right here in town.
Abeta-Weed. Okay, we've been talking with Skip Chandler of SC Communications Incorporated. We've heard a little bit about his personal background, and we are hearing about the business now. So
you send out a resume, and here we go. You've been in the oil business all your life. The oil business wants you to go someplace else, and you decide Bakersfield's where you want to stay, and here we go.
Basically, that's about it. I mean, I wanted to stay in Bakersfield, and I didn't want to be dependent just on oil ever again. And I think it's one of those things where there was a bumper sticker out at one time that says, "Please, Lord," and mind the pun, "Please, Lord, let me make it again, and I promise not to piss it all away." and it was one of those things where we're ready for the next boom, so to speak, and I just didn't want to be dependent on one industry. And just so happens that Motorola, matter of fact, was that's when Motorola had a big office in town. They probably had 25 people in their office here. They were taking care of Kern County. They were taking care of local governments and everything else. And they basically hired me, and they took a leap of faith because they basically said that you've been working for yourself, so we don't know how long you're going to last in a corporate world. And they were pretty much right, because I lasted about 3.5, 4 years. And but I saw the handwriting on the wall, and that's when Motorola at the time decided to make dealers, and they decided to go what they call indirect. And when they did, I said, you know what, I'm going to take a leap of faith, and I figured I'm buying myself a job. And off we went. And the reason why I did it was because of the communications. We affect all aspects of business. I don't care if it's construction. I don't care if it's oil. And I don't care if it's ag. But the good thing for us, we deal with schools, we deal with police departments, we deal with fire departments, we deal with all facets of business because they need to communicate. And we do it all in the way of not just the radio end of it. We do it in the way of the phones. We do phone systems. We do Wi-Fi. We do Bluetooth. We do all this stuff. And we decided to do that because of that way we're not dependent on one industry. And I think that was good for us.
Where did the name of your company come from? SC Communications.
I'll give you a clue.
Skip Chandler.
There you go.
SC. All right.
SC.
Now, exactly what can you do for a business?
Well, our thing is to get them to create, I would say, probably more efficiency within their business. What we're looking for is communications, and a lot of businesses don't take it very seriously. They take it as a second to the, I would say, other things that they need to do for the business. It's like going into your business and saying, I need software in order to do my bookkeeping, or I need new software in order to run different things. They're not really looking at what am I tracking my trucks? Are they being efficient? We can tell you where they are, what they're doing, how fast they're going, how fast they're braking, are they driving efficiently? And not only that, then we have the communication end of it as well, because you need to be in contact with this. And we deal with public safety. So the same thing, the ambulances, the fire departments, the police departments, people depend on what we do. We take it very seriously. They have to stay up, they have to run, they have to do well. And again, I chose Motorola. Motorola kind of chose me, but I still think it's one of the best products out there and has been for 75 years.
The range of people and businesses you're talking about, I mean,
it affects everybody. You're right. I mean, well, matter of fact, last night I was up in Delano talking to an ambulance company up there, and they need our service, and they've already got it, but they're doing other things that are out there. And when we go up there, the schools that are up there, they use our radios as well, and they're communicating with their buses. And it's vital to know where the buses are because of where your child is.
Skip, this leap of faith you took, what is your market share now in Kern County and Bakersfield?
Not as big as I'd like it to be, but, but actually, I think it's pretty good size. I mean, considering where we started from. And what I did was I started with a company years ago also using them as a shop was Maple Leaf Communications. They were actually the Peters out of Shafter, and they were very good, and they ran into some problems, and basically they decided to close the communication end of it, and we decided to pick it up. Okay. So again, it was one of those things being at the right place at the right time.
So there may be businesses out there that need your services and don't even realize it.
Correct.
That you can do things for them that they've never thought about. Tell us about that.
Well, we'll take, for instance, even anything from a small business, and I say a small business to 1 and 2 people. It doesn't make any difference. Phone systems. We're a Samsung dealer and have been for the last 8 years, and we chose Samsung because we feel as though they're like Motorola. They're very dependable. They're very good at what they do. They're very inexpensive, but the main thing is that we provide the communications for them. But it's the link now that really is amazing, that we can tie outside communications with a vehicle with inside communications in the phone system. So we actually can link the two together anymore because of the way computers are and digital. It's phenomenal what it's done.
Skip, your whole field is changing so fast.
So
How do
fast.
you keep up with it so that you're ahead of the curve and ahead of your competitors?
Well, it's in a way, like you said, is that we've had a lot of our customers say, in other words, we're not really into sales, and kind of hear me on that, is that we're into consulting. We design systems. We basically take a lot amount of pride in the fact that we provide information to customers that they need to have. And like you said, farmers have told me a long time ago, 2 things actually. They said, if you ever show up with a tie on, I'm out the back door. But if you show up with information, I'm here to listen. And so what we do is we provide information. Like you said, is that 5 years ago, the whole industry changed in the way of two-way radios because they went digital. The radio of today is, remember Nextel?
Yes, yes.
The radio of today is they took over for Nextel. And now we have formed a conglomerate with other businesses. I'm part of a group that we have communications now from the Grapevine to the other side of Sacramento. We cover the entire San Joaquin Valley with a handheld radio.
And did we bring a sample of that today?
I did not.
Didn't.
I apologize.
Okay.
I was in a hurry this morning when I left.
Okay.
I had it sitting on my desk. Matter of fact, I had 2 radios I was going to bring. One from the 1950s and then one to the present. And the sizes are unbelievable.
I was going to say.
Oh, yeah. The radio was probably almost 18 inches tall, and it had an antenna telescoped out, and that was the Highway Patrol's radio back then.
Wow.
And today, the radios are about the size of your cell phone.
Oh, my word.
You know, the whole thing of doing business in Kern County, when you said you wear a tie, they're out the back door. I know another fellow here in town who has a very extensive business and exclusive business throughout, but his office, my gosh, it's in the most unlikely place, and it's the most humble place. And he says, these farmers with $1 million deals that come in, they don't want to come into some palace and think you're raking their money off of them. They want to come in where their muddy boots can be on, and you can just talk business that way.
I learned a long time ago in Bakersfield. As a matter of fact, I would say, I think it was 1985, there was a company called Midway out of Taft.
Yeah.
Bill Alexander was the owner of the company at the time. And that was the last new rig that was sold probably up to about 5 years ago that I sold to him back in 1985. And when I met this man the first time, he's in coveralls or overalls, got mud on his boots, or a little bit of oil comes out of an old beat-up pickup truck, and he could buy and sell me 5 times over. So, I mean, don't judge a book by its cover.
Oh, boy.
And like you said, this town is very, very good at that, and I respect that. And I think that's where it should be, is that we're all in this together. We're going to do what we can do. And, my leisure time, more or less, is I prefer to be in flip-flops, shorts, and a T-shirt, and hanging out at the beach if I can. So
You bet.
That's what I do.
And it's kind of an ethos here in Bakersfield. We're involved in extractive industries, the soil, the dirt, the farming, the bringing oil out of the ground. Like where I grew up in the Willamette Valley up in Oregon, there it's timber and ag. Here it's oil and ag. But it's being close to the earth. It's not the Hollywood thing about image and flash and all of that. It's just about being real and simple and living a real life. And
a little story with that is that I had a customer, well, I still do, and they're down south. Well, basically, I'm trying to think of the name of the farmer that's down there, and I can't remember his name, so I apologize. But all I remember is we're dealing with this company, we're dealing with his trucks, we're dealing with everything else. He pulls in a 700 series BMW. fairly new, opens up the back doors and says, I'm trading this in, get the radio out of it, and we're going to put it into another vehicle. I said, okay. We open the back doors. There's shovels, there's dirt, there's stuff in the trunk. And everything. He's been using it as a pickup truck. But he wants to drive around in his BMW, and that's what he's going to do.
That's great. Skip, we're going to put up
Yes.
some business information that you've heard all about what he's doing here and all the reasons why, if you're in business, you may want his consultation on what he can do for you and how they can do it. It's SC Communications, Inc. They're out there on Woodmere Drive, part of the newer streets out there. And website's real easy, scommunications.com, or Inc., scommunicationsinc.com. Phone's right there, 831-0191.
Yes.
And do you find, Skip, that people are coming to you that kind of just figured out, hey, we need to get on board here, we need to get up to speed, up to date? Is that happening more and more?
It is happening more and more. I mean, but again, it's our job and to get our people out to talk to people to give them the information. You know, it's one of those things you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And things have, like you said, have changed so much. And we're used to this throwaway type industry that things are going to come in and go. But that's our job, is to get out there and talk to them. But yes, I would say that a lot of it is now getting to the point where people are getting more informed. That's why go to the website, take a look at what we're doing, and they want information. And that's what we're here for, is to say, if we can help you, that's fine. If we can't, I don't want to waste your time. We'll go on to somebody else.
Skip, you've been a great guest, and
Yes.
you're certainly a great addition to keeping Kern County right at the head of the
Thank you very
at the
much.
curve in this thing. Thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
And when we come back, it's Christmas time, and
And we're going to experience a walk through Bethlehem.
okay, be right back.
Woohoo!